Hey guys, I'm back for part 2. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Okay. Wanted to make sure that we are live. Let me make sure we can hear sound. Yep. Let me see. All right, perfect. Okay. Let me cancel that out. Save bandwidth. All right, so as promised, I am back to finish up the centerpieces. So what I went ahead and did already is put a second coat of the paint on the sign stands, and they look good. So I'm going to leave them as they are. I'm wondering if I should add like some kind of weight or something to the base because it is kind of wobbly. And I'm thinking like one bump from the table would knock it over. So what I'm thinking is I think I have like some little plastic bags that I can put some sand or maybe some of those marbles in that we get from Dollar Tree. And then just kind of set this in there and set those on there and then just like tie a little bow. So we'll figure that out once we get a little bit closer to it. So I've cut out all the parts to the sign on using my Cricut. So we have the yellow sign, the yellow background, I'll say, the green part that goes there, my number ones, which are getting all mixed up, and then the words. Oh, and then this little green part too. Okay, I'm going to suck on a cough drop so I can make it through this live without coughing my brain. So I apologize in advance for any sucking or chewing you may hear. One thing that I did after we already created the name is I went back and I added this little strip at the bottom. You see this strip at the bottom of the words? And I did this because I thought about it. After it cut these letters, I then would have had to go and weed each letter one at a time and then try to line them back up to glue them down. So what I did was I just took a rectangle, very, very thin line, and I attached it to the bottom of the word. And now what's going to happen is after I glue it down, I'll just go back in with some scissors and just kind of snip this line away. And that'll make it much more easier than putting these letters on one at a time. So that is that. The other thing is I couldn't find more of these rings, but when I ran to Joann's, I found this in the sewing section, plastic rings. The only thing is that these don't open, but they fit perfectly. They slide right over these poles. So that is there. I just have to figure out now how to hang the sign. But I may just thread some fishing wire through there and call that a day. That's the best thing about being able to improvise. So in terms of adhesive, I use, this is Zig Memory Systems. And then this is actually a Tombow glue pen. I'm going to store this upright so that the glue can start to go down. And then I also have a Tombow tape runner for my bigger areas. Okay. So let's put one together and see what it looks like. Let's do a bigger one because I have a feeling the smaller ones just may be a bit more time consuming. So what we're going to do is take a yellow background and move these out the way. And then we need a large green. Okay, we move these up so you guys can see on the screen. There we go. We need a large Koa street. We need a large half circle. And then we're going to need a large number 1. Now, one thing I thought about after I designed these also is that they're going to need to be 2 sides. So I actually ended up, even though I'm only making 2 of each type of centerpiece, I'm going to need 4 sides because I need to make sure that the front and the back is there. Okay, so we're just going to finish weeding these. And happy Friday night, everybody. What are your plans for the weekend? Okay, so that was easy. I just had to pull a couple of those out. Okay, and that is how that's going to look. And again, we're going to remove the bottom part of the line at the end. So let's get to gluing. This is permanent adhesive, and then just kind of do your best to line it up however you want it. If you need to move it over a little bit, you can. I don't press down hard until I get it where I want it, because permanent, it tends to be permanent. And I'm going to just try to center it as best I can. There we go. Okay, so we have that. And then this part. I can't wait to show you guys pictures from after we set up tomorrow. I'm going to be helping Chloe set up for the event. She works really hard on her events. All kinds of like personal touches for that. Okay, and then now for this part, I can use this size or, yeah, I'm going to use this size. And I'm going to just follow the line of the alphabet. I'm not going to put glue on that bottom line because that's where I need to be able to cut it off. So I'm just going to avoid that area. Y'all hear Nala having a meltdown? Yeah. She's nowhere. Those terrible twos, boy. She's not even 2 yet. Oh, Lord. She has some lungs on her, though. And she knows it. Okay. I'm in the house working because it's so hot out here that my workspace in the garage is like a sauna. Yes, you get Nala entertainment as well. And again, just kind of do your best to line it up. You do get a little move time with it. I think that looks good. And then, before it gets, all the way dry, I'm going to just go right here. And just snip this off. My bunny rabbit is at my patio door looking at me like, can I come in? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So I have a bunny. Well, she's not a bunny. She's a full-on. She's a grown-ass rabbit. And I have a Yorkie, Marmaduke. He's like 4 pounds. Had him since he was literally 6 weeks old or 8 weeks, whatever age you get them from their parent. And then we have Nala. So it's good times in the Tunson household. And Nala likes to torture all the animals. Okay. And just do your best to cut a straight line. I'm using these precision scissors. I actually got these scissors as part of a glitter subscription box that I once belonged to. They are so beautiful, and they just cut amazing. All right, so now that we have this, go ahead and press it down. We need our one. I'm actually going to grab some tweezers. I have some tweezers in here. And again, a little glitter. Goodness gracious. A little glue. Line it up. And there you have it. So there's the first side of our sign. You don't have to worry about it. This glue dries clear. So even though there's like a couple of smudge marks there, you don't have to worry about that part. And this one, the bigger sign, I think is going to go on the smaller one. It's going to go here, like so. And then I purchased these little toppers. I'm going to hot glue it. But then it goes like that. And these ones go, it'll be one on the front and one on the back. And these ones are for the kids' table. And then the smaller one, she's so extra. Her mama is literally right there unloading the car. The smaller sign, I think, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I hang the smaller sign? It's going to be like this. I'm probably going to cut some of this off before I put the ball on it, like here. Yeah, because I don't want it to be too tall. So I'm going to cut to like here and then put the ball on. And then I have these smaller balls. Because remember earlier, I told you I had these wooden ones. I can either put this one here, or I have the smaller foam one. I may just do the foam one because then I don't have to glue it. Like it's there already. And then I get my X-Acto knife. And then this is gonna Mhm. Let me just snip this side off. Like so. Doesn't have to be super straight because it's going to have a foam ball on it anyway. Take your time using your tools. And then that would fit like right here. And I'll use some hot glue to secure it in place. So there, that's that one. And then, yeah, I would just have to decide, do I want the smaller? Do we want the bigger sign? Let me switch for a second. Do we want the bigger sign to go with this one? Or do we want a smaller sign? I don't know. That's what we'll have to figure out. All right, so let's see. With this one, so this one is going to be just like this. The signs were just kind of glued onto here. But I don't know. I feel like the smaller one might be better. So let's do a small one just so we can see, because I'm curious. And then I would like to get you guys' feedback. Okay, let's move this out the way. Let's start with our base. And then our green. Okay. So where are my Cricut lovers at? What are some projects that you use your Cricut for? Chloe always has me doing some type of paper crafting for her events on the Cricut. That's actually the reason why I first bought my Cricut, was when they were in elementary school and they always had to do like projects and posters and stuff. That's why I bought the very first Cricut machine, was to cut out letters for posters. And then I've been hooked ever since. Should have put the top back on this glue so it doesn't get stringy on me. Yep. Press too hard. Okay. Let's see. Let's get a small one. Weed out the insides. And for this, the cut settings on the Cricut, I just set it for heavy cardstock because I want it to just have more pressure so I don't have any like ragged edges or areas that don't cut. Like as you can see right here, there's a little part of the A that didn't cut. It's not too bad, but I just use that heavier setting on these, especially when it's smaller stuff. Like these letters are pretty thin. Okay, so we've got that. See, there's a little piece of this E hanging. I'm gonna just snip that with my scissors before I start to lay that down. Try to get it, only because the white on the green background, like it will tend to show. It's not a big deal, but it's just those little things that bug me. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and again apply my glue just to the letter itself and not to that bottom bar, because we are going to snip that bar off. And then after we do this, we'll compare and see like which do we think, which sign will look better with which stand. I'm going to just gently lay it down because this is trying to curve on me a little bit. So we want to make sure we get this straight before we start to press. Just move it over. And that's the good thing about having that straight line down there too, is that it'll help me get my letters in order. So I'm going to put the K down. So Koa looks good. Let me get my S in place. The only thing on this one is that that T is going to hang over just a little bit, but I'm not going to sweat it. When things are handmade, they are not perfect. They are handmade with love. And as long as it doesn't distract from the overall design, like I am okay with it. So I'm going to just snip. And I know this may seem like an extra step, but I prefer doing this over trying to individually line up each letter. And after I do this, I'll show you really quick what I did in Design Space. The only difficult part is the curves at the bottom, like the S and the O, but just kind of go with the curve and you'll be fine. And then for the E, you just want to cut as straight as you can. Okay. So now we have our small one and we have our large one done. Let's see. Let me switch cameras again. Okay. So this is the larger stand. And this sign is going to hang probably like this. Or do we want the smaller one where it'll just hang like that? Okay. So we've got the smaller sign on the bigger pole. I kind of like the way the smaller sign looks because this one just seems like it's too big. And then on the smaller or the more simple pole, we would just have the street sign like this. Yeah. I think that's the way the original design looked. And it's going to just be a front and a back. So these are going to be the final look. And I'm going to finish putting these together. And when I'm done, I will take a picture and post it in our Facebook group. So thanks so much for stopping by and watching me while I craft. I'll catch you later.